these 2,900 unusual contracts, and then half of that at 1,450 options contracts. What do they mean for PayPal? Because they were all done at the same time at 10:54 a.m. and PayPal will be reporting earnings after hours, you'll see here. So today, May 8, 12:31 p.m., we detected these unusual options on PayPal. And in this video, we're going to analyze these unusual options and then determine their direction. And then second, go over our earnings trade for PayPal based on these unusual options. So without further ado, let's get right to it. For these unusual options, you can see that they were done for the June expiration dates, June 23, 85 strike calls, 75 strike puts, 65 strike puts, and 80 strike calls. So let's take a look at it. On the options chain, you'll see here the Junes are about 46 days to expiring. And first up, we have the 65 strike puts and the 75 strike puts. You'll see here the volume here is actually greater than the open interest, much greater for both of these strikes. So we know these are opening orders. And so what we believe is happening is that they are buying this 75 strike put and selling this 65 strike put, creating a bearish put vertical spread. And so then you'll see here our position is also similar. And then we go to the call side. You'll see here that the 80 strike calls here are actually also opening, definitely, because it's zero open interest here. And then the 85 strike calls, you'll see here, is also greater than the open interest, so they are also opening. And so what we believe is happening here is that there is a ratio spread here where they are buying the 80 strike calls and then selling two of these 85 strike calls. And so what that does is you'll see this trade that they're putting on is this very unusual trade, but very, very clever, I must say, because you'll see here the Vega is negative. You'll see a positive theta. These are very good earnings trades when you have a negative volatility trade, because after earnings, volatility will contract and decrease. And you'll also see that if PayPal rallies at $75 and goes up, there is still an opportunity to be profitable in this range from this break even at $83, about $83 to $87. So while they are bearish, because they will be making money as it goes down in price, since it's above this zero profit loss diagram, they also have an ability to make money and be profitable in this upside rally here in this price range. The prices are here on the x-axis for PayPal. And so this trade, you'll see here, is a very unusual earnings trade that takes advantage of the higher volatility that is happening right before earnings. It does require about 900 buying power, because you are selling one of the calls naked here. And if you want to find out how we calculated that, we do have a video on how to quickly calculate buying power. There's a quick method. We'll put a link up here if you have info cards turned on. And so if you want to be just bearish, you can also obviously just not deal with the calls and just go with the puts. However, you will have to deal with a less favorable trade with the Vegas and the Thetas against your trade. And so if you want to do a trade like this, but you maybe don't want to do maybe selling a naked call, what you could do is something like our trade, what we did was we did the similar trade you'll see here. Exactly the same. You'll see our positions are all here the same as well. Here's our sell position, our buy position also, and then we also have our on the call side and the sell here and the buy. However, you'll notice here that we have another buy here, and this is what reduces the buying power from 900 to 500 by buying this 95 strike call here. You then make the you remove that naked call, and so essentially it is selling a butterfly because you're selling 2 of the 85 strikes and then buying the wings of the butterfly of the 95 strike and the 80 strike, and so that then creates a butterfly. And so what it looks like then is, let's say you buy that one extra wing there, and you'll see then this is the trade that it looks like. It's quite similar. It just has lowered some of your break evens slightly, and also your Greeks are a little bit different. You'll see here, slightly positive, slightly negative in theta, and so that's the price you have to pay if you don't want to do the naked calls, and you want to reduce your buying power from 900 to 500. And so that's the trade that we are also in. And so this is what we think. We would like to have that potential profit potential here. If it rallies, if PayPal rallies at expiration, we can still collect a profit here in this range. And so if we look at this range from this 80, let's take this off. Let's see, their range was 83, about 83 to 87. So let's take a look at that range. So if we zoom out of PayPal and take a look at where it's been trading, you'll see it's been going in a range for some time for this year. This entire range for this year, it's been trading range bound. And so that 83 would then be up here, so all the way up around here. So if it rallies and surprises to the upside, it will apparently, the assumption is that by June it will be above this price. It will break this resistance and get back up here in this range where it was trading for 2 days this year in February. And so then once it's trading around this range here, you can realize and achieve that profit here in this range. And so that's why this trade was done by this large institutional investor who put up this buying power, lots of buying power. We'll see. You can see here that by doing that call, selling, there is, since they sold these calls here, 1,000, half of these calls are naked, so that's 1,450 multiplied by the 900 buying power for each of this. So this was a $1.3 million buying power that required this amount of capital to put on this earnings trade for PayPal. So keep that in mind, and why we think this is a large institutional investor that has this done the research on what they think PayPal will trade at after earnings. Okay, so yeah, comment below on what you think is going to happen to PayPal for earnings, and please smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and as always, hit the bell icon if you want to be notified whenever we see unusual option activity. Thank you, and take care, everybody.